This is Dork Dead Sam, and let's talk about the Batman. First off, the first part of this is going to be non-spoiler, and I'll let you know when spoilers are going to be arriving. That said, I do tend to just go off script, so there's a chance there's a random spoiler. But anyway, wait, something kind of doesn't feel right about this. Let's maybe turn down the lights a little bit. Now, I don't think that's right either. All right. All right, there we go. I think we got it. Um, this movie is very dark. Not just like I guess the tone, but also the view. Um, one of the I for one don't get to go to movies very often. It was a date night that my wife wanted to go see the Batman, so I was like, all right, deal. I do have a little bit of concern when it comes to HBO Max that it might not do so hot on my TV, mostly because TVs can't handle the darkness as much as movie theater qualities. Is it gonna be the end of the world? No, no. But you may miss some stuff because there are things that I was close to missing while in the theater. It was just that dark. Um, Casting wise, Robert Pattinson is the man. You've probably heard it before. He What a phenomenal cast that was. Really, truthfully, and it's not just because he's played a bat before, or I guess a pre-bat. He is just a good actor, and um, I'm gonna mention this a lot, but my wife, she was a little hesitant on Robert Pattinson as well, which I guess could be there, but that said, that's really changed him as an actor. I know Lighthouse is on my menu to watch. He and William Dafoe look awesome, and that I just haven't gotten around to watch that one just yet. Um, Zoe, awesome job as Catwoman, or I guess I don't know. It's just the cat. I don't know if she's ever mentioned as Catwoman in the actual movie. Really, all of the bad guys, which there are quite a bit, were also well casted. I mean, you've seen um, Penguin. You can't tell that it's Colin Farrell in the best way possible. Um, I mean, not to say. I guess I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Um, it's just kind of cool to see, uh, a person like Colin Farrell who's been in so many movies, um, dress up and you can't even tell who it is. It's kind of cool to see that and to see his actual acting chops with a weird Irish accent or New Jersey accent. Um, I don't know why I said Irish. He is Irish. You can't hear that. You can only hear New Jersey. You know what I mean. Riddler, main villain. Is it Paul Dano? I think he did a very good job in that role. There's a couple moments I think that were I can't tell if they were a little pushed or I could just be how it normally would be. I think maybe um, like when he's talking in his phone, um, he did a good job. I saw that he did in one scene he did over 200 takes. I mean, it was just on his phone. Hashtag iPhone 60. Um, but he recorded himself doing it 200 times because he couldn't get what he wanted. I think overall he did a very good job, and um, I guess really one of the only people to mention, I guess, is Alfred and the Commissioner. I think both of those were really well done. Commissioner um, more so than Alfred. Um, Alfred wasn't in it a whole heck of a lot, but when he was in it, you you get what you ask for, which is a great acting job. Overall, the movie I think was over a 9.5 out of 10 for us. It was definitely a movie I'd watch again. It's probably the top three Batman movies, maybe top two Batman movies out there. Um, I think Christian Bale's Dark Knight is, and the Batman are one and two, maybe one A, one B, to be quite honest. And that says a lot from me. Not that you know who the heck I am, but that was a top movie for me. I think I saw it in theaters a dozen times, and I've watched it countless times since. I mean, it's just a movie that I could watch weirdly over and over again. The Dark Knight. Um, this is a movie. I mean, it's 3 hours long, so it's definitely up there with the timing wise. But overall, I think it's a movie that you can continue to watch over and over again and find different things you didn't see before. Um, and that's kind of the non spoiler. So if you hang on just a minute more, um, we're going to move into the spoiler zone. So I'll give it a time. 1 minute. All right, countdown. You can switch over and stop. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not waiting a minute. Um, I think the overall direction of this movie was pretty great. I mean, you got so many villains in this film that at some points you forget that there's other people out there. The Riddler's riddles were pretty interesting. They weren't as corny as you know the 90, I don't know, 6 7 Jim Carrey version. I prefer this version a lot better. Not to say Jim Carrey's version wasn't bad or wasn't good, but this is just the darker tone of the Riddler was kind of interesting. It's more of a psychotic. Uh, he was a little psychotic in the '90s, but this one you really grasp that he is just out of his mind. Loves riddles, but out of his mind. And thinks he's doing something else than he is. There's parts of it that are a little I don't want to say concerning, but like it almost tries to have you have sympathy for the Riddler at some points. Um, but in the opening scene, you kind of lose that. You lost it, but then you try to bring it back. There was plenty of. It wasn't. I mean, it was a dark movie. It wasn't as gory as maybe I would think, but it was PG-13, so that's probably the reason why. Um, which again is fine. Um, I think the way the Riddler was able to get around and make his points, um, his kills, his riddles were well done. The trailer kind of showed all parts of the movie, surprisingly, because nowadays you see most of the time the trailer encompasses like the first 5-10 minutes of the film. Thinking of you, Marvel. But this one, I mean, there's parts of the um, parts of the trailer that are in the last parts of the film. So, in order to do that, I mean, I think they did a good job with kind of hiding the trailer there inside that movie. Um, there were a couple parts. I mean, Batman is what 2 years in the Batman phase, already nocturnal. It was kind of cool to see the growth of that character in a way. It's sort of like Spider-Man or sort of like Invincible. How about that? Invincible, where um, not necessarily like day one, because you don't see how he gets his kind of equipment, I guess, in this case, versus the powers and Invincible. But so you have like 2 years of base. You see that he takes notes and is a very detective oriented character, which is cool to see that the actual character of Batman from the comics or the books from that's been across for many years. Typically in movies, you kind of push the detective part aside. In this case, nails it. I think that's part of the reason this Batman is just so well done is that Um, you don't just see a big brute that's pissed off that his parents died. You see a detective that also wants to get down, um, and research. And, what's the thing that Batman puts aside? He doesn't have the powers like Superman has. He's got to know every little detail about everything. So it's kind of cool to see all of those points there. That's just my, a little bit of 2 cents. Now, that said, he does have a little of invincibility portions. I mean, he got shot with a shotgun, point blank range, was almost dead. Looks like he was using venom. So it almost wonders if that's gonna build up to a Bane character, if there are spin-offs, which we can get to. There's a lot of like Easter eggs in here that, or kind of the movements at the end of the movie forms a way that makes you think that there is going to be another movie. I saw an interview with Robert Pattinson that said he would like to make a trilogy. So you can definitely see that could be a thing. But back to the Batman being kind of invincible. He gets shot with a shotgun. He gets just annihilated with a lot of bullets. The hallway scene where he just has bullets flying at his chest and they just ping off him. First off, that looked incredible because of how dark it was, and the only light in there were the bullets leaving the gun. That looked incredible. It was like a Darth Vader kind of scene in Rogue One. That's kind of the vibe, or let's say Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. Obviously, staying to the Star Wars theme because that's what I'm more familiar with, but the hallway scene really was quite incredible. Um, Somehow always missed right here. Um, that's part of the invincibility part that I'm kind of mentioning here. Obviously has it looked like the Bane Venom. I mean, I don't know what else is green and just gives you a burst of energy and gives you rage within 2 seconds. I feel like that would be the case. I've seen other people that don't know what it is. That's my assumption. Um, but then you also have him trying to sacrifice himself towards the end, cutting the electricity, and you wonder, is he gonna die? Doesn't give you much time to process that because he is alive. I mean, 5 seconds of time. Um, if they were to cut it off at one Batman, that would be the way for him to go, sacrificing himself for the greater good. Changes his mind, like, all right, this is how I'm gonna be. Sacrifices himself, saves many people in his favorite town of Gotham, and end scene. But it's not. Somehow he survives and leads more people to safety. Um, Overall, I'll give that a pass. I think the scene in itself was pretty incredible. There's a lot to like about it. The chemistry between Robert and Zoe, or the Bat and the Cat, played out from the trailer to the movie. You could feel the tension um, throughout the entire movie. Um, I think it ended okay with them going separate ways, but there's a very good chance that if there's a number 2 or 3, that we'll see the cat come back. I can't see the cat being away for that long, um, considering that's what she does. And if there is an actual connection there, well, why wouldn't you be back, right? Um, we have the Penguin, who's still alive. The character for me was almost like a distractor. Didn't do as much as you thought he was going to do, and I kind of like that. He, I don't think he stole any scenes, and the fact that he wasn't the big bad, even though it kind of alluded he was multiple times, was actually a good kind of twist there. There were many times you thought, especially in that car scene, that Batman and the Penguin probably killed many people for nothing. Again, disregard that for a second. The Penguin itself, I think the character, overall played out well. Um, you know, he, like I said, there was a twist this show that he's not the, I mean, he's bad. Don't get me wrong, but he's not the big bad in this. Um, and I think that that's good. We have that character moving forward, which is now taking over most likely the big bad, or at least the free big bad, because you got Paul Dano or the Riddler in the end incarcerated, but um, we have um, what looks, it's one of two things, and please debate this in the comments. It's either the Joker or Two Face. My wife said it was Two Face. I thought it was more the Joker, but I wasn't going to argue with her because I've been married for 10 years. I know what that does. Um, so, I mean, let me know who you thought that end character was. You didn't get a good glimpse. My wife thought you could see half the face gone and half the face not, but the voice or the tone and the laughing nature kind of reminded me more of the Joker. Um, Considering the laughing part, I think more so than uh, the look, because you couldn't get a good glimpse, reflected that it's the Joker. But we'll have to wait and see if there's a number two, and then if that character comes or escapes out of prison. There's a lot of opportunity here in this um, series. I'm excited. The only way I want Batman to come back is if Reeves is in charge again, because he did a phenomenal job. I can't say that enough. Again, I think this is a 9.5 plus out of 10. There are a couple movie, I've already mentioned this. There's a couple movie parts that, you know, you have to give grace because it's a movie and it's not real life. But overall, really impressive. Let me know your thoughts, comments on this movie. If you're looking forward to more, if I missed anything, which I did because it's a freaking 3 hour movie. Being 3 hours, it didn't seem like 3 hours. Actually, at one point when um, the Riddler kills Falcone, I actually forgot that the Riddler was still in the movie. I was like, oh, cool. The Falcone got arrested in a movie. Nope. Forgot. Riddler's still there. And then once the Riddler gets arrested, it's not done. So it was like played out, played out, played out, but not badly done at all. It's just, you almost forget at some points, but you just get lost in that world. I mean, like I said, if you haven't watched it in theaters, watch it. If you've been this far, you already know parts that's happened. Like I said, I've missed some, but let me know thoughts, comments, whatever. I'll see you in the next one. Maybe.